Welcome to As the Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. Today we welcome Siamese frontman Mirza Radonjica to the podcast. The new Siamese album, Dissolution, is out today on Long Branch Records. Mirza talks about his singing background and the journey he took getting into heavy music, Siamese making a musical and name shift at the same time, the lyrical direction of Dissolution, and more. This was a super interesting chat, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope you check out Dissolution today. It's a huge day for new music, and Dissolution should absolutely be on your radar. Thanks much for listening to this episode of As the Story Grows. If you're brand new to the podcast, welcome. You can find links in our show notes or at asthestorygrows.com for our mailing list, our Discord server, and our Patreon page. Enjoy today's conversation with Mirza from Siamese.
I'll follow you willingly. I am all yours to drown. I wouldn't even notice, 'cause you get gravity, drag me into the dark. Shadows dancing in the blue moonlight.
Are you in the States?
Yes, I'm in Washington, D.C.
Good morning to you then.
Yes, it is. It's nice and early. Are you in Copenhagen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. Is that where you grew up?
No, basically, I was born in Bosnia and Serbia.
Okay.
Yeah, and I came to Denmark in '92 and grew up in a small town, very far away from Copenhagen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What brought your family to Denmark from Bosnia?
There was this war, Balkan War, in '92 to '96, where we were refugees from that, being Muslim, and there was there was basically an ethnic cleansing in the '90s in the Balkans.
Not great.
And, so basically we had to be over in Denmark, and that was pretty fucking great for us that we came here. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. Was it, I don't know how old you were at the time, but was it kind of easy to immigrate and be a part of just school and make friends, or was it difficult kind of in that situation to?
I was blessed. I was blessed with really, really good language skills. So I learned the language pretty quickly. And I think also I was very small, so you just soak in. You're a good beta, you were just learn everything. For my parents, it must have been much different. Like my dad was my age, even older, and it's just so difficult to acclimatize. On top of that, very traumatic to leave everything behind. So learning language wasn't the first thing on top of their head back then.
Yeah. What kind of gets you into music? Like, when do you discover maybe rock music and heavy music?
Well, to be honest with you, this is quite a funny story, and it's probably a very unique angle to music. I kind of figured out I could sing around 12 years. When I was 12, and I was singing all these NSYNC and these Backstreet Boys songs. And I was doing that on my free time, nothing serious. And then there was, you guys know it as American Idol. Yeah. And I was actually part of the first Danish Idol.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so I had this in me. I wanted to get a real kind of opinion if I could sing. And I went to the auditions, and I came second.
Nice.
That's in the
awesome.
whole competition. Yeah, so that was my intro to music at all. I was 15 years old, and that's where it all began. And because I come from a small village, then I was the guy who sings. It was like the persona I just took upon me, and it's been following me ever since. So it was just handed to me that this is what you do. This is who you are. You're the guy who sings. So that's how I came into music.
Nice. What does that transition happen from doing pop music and being kind of in that pop vocalist realm to maybe I want to sing for a heavy band and something, less popular?
I love the direction of this because it's pretty funny to think back on. I remember in probably around 9th grade, we were at summer camp in Denmark, And I was used to listening to Savage Garden, NSYNC, and all that. And my friend Lars, he brought two things with him. First thing being vodka, which I've never tried before. It was my first time drinking. I tried vodka for the first time, and I listened to Linkin Park for the first time in my life. And the part that got me was the screaming part, One Step Closer. I remember just when I heard that, I was like, because before that it was rock music with clean vocals, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. It's not, I've heard it before. But then he started screaming. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Whoa. Instantly fell in love. Instantly just changed my world. Linkin Park is such a massive inspiration to me, of course. But that was the moment, and I remember it vividly, like yesterday.
Yeah. Nice. If you were wanting to be in a rock band around that time in Denmark and in like the Copenhagen area, what was the scene like locally? Was it good and thriving, or was it kind of difficult to connect with other people for forming bands?
In Denmark, back in 2008 and 10 and 12, in that period of time, there was a transition between physical music and digital music. Mm-hmm. And right around that period, when I started this band, it was absolutely terrible conditions. Like all the bands that started from there, like us and another band called Vola, which some people might recognize, we are the only leftovers left from that generation of bands. So the bands that started around 2010, 2012, and not even started as bands, just started making music, where I started making music, and everybody we couldn't go anywhere because we didn't have Facebook yet, not fully integrated into music yet. We had MySpace, but that died, and we didn't have streaming. So it was so difficult, and the quality was bad too, to be honest. Like if you listen to our first record, even our second isn't that good. Our first record it's out there now. People can hear it. It doesn't sound good. It's just a load of ideas put together in a weird shape and form. And it was just building. We were 20 years old. We had to learn, but it was just like, it was very, very different, and it was difficult, and it all kind of changed around 2017 when Spotify really kicked in, and Facebook and Instagram really took over the world within music. A lot of things just changed. Yeah.
You talked about those first two records. I listened to the first record, and it's very rough around the edges. It's
go ahead.
No, but I'm curious, like, because I know after those first two records, you changed the name from Siamese Fighting Fish just to Siamese. Like, was that like, okay, we need to rebrand to be serious, or was there like a record label being like, this name is a little goofy?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you listen to the first record, you can't even hear the kick drum. It's at times it's just us not knowing what we're doing. The name change basically came because we've basically wasted maybe 5 years of the band's life on just figuring out what the hell are we doing? Are we even doing this? We were just about to break up in 2015, go separate ways, because it was just not going anywhere. And that was actually where we changed the name, because we just had a real look at ourselves and tried to change things that didn't work for us. And the name was one of it, because in Denmark, nobody could say it. Nobody could say it, and then I had to explain why we were named after a fish. It became a little bit easier just calling it Siamese, and thank God we did that. That was a decisive moment in my life. Actually, I remember we were up on that rooftop and just talking about whether or not we should just split up, and I actually said yes. So let's split up. This is not working out for us.
Yeah.
And I slept on it, and then I changed my mind and picked it up and wrote a song that actually got traction, which is crazy. Nice. Yeah. So you've been going way back. What do you make of the name and the sound and the change that we made? What would you say?
as an outsider, like, I mean, Siamese Fighting Fish as a name is like kind of fun and unique, but I could also like, I think to where the band went musically, that name would have not made sense at all. Like, it was definitely like, and listening to those first records, it's like, okay, this does not reflect what the band is now. And so it all makes sense to change the name, and the sound gets, you know, more focused and rebranded, and it all works so much better now. So I think it was just a wise choice.
And I know that those records are under the same name, that make the same money for now, because we just want to let people know our past, but it's also a brand new band, because there's no one from that period of the first two records that is still in this band. Yeah. So it's also pretty new. So I think Siamese started in 2015. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. With the musical direction of the band, were there, because you're not like a real heavy screaming band, I mean, your vocals feature prominently, was there a musical direction or conversations about how you wanted the band to sound when you kind of kicked off to just be Siamese, or was it just kind of natural?
I mean, when we started off, like when we kind of evolved something that we could call our own, we had very few kind of inspirations back then. Like, you know, my I would call them like my major grand first inspirations were bands like Incubus and System of a Down. Mm-hmm. But moving on from that really quickly, we really wanted to sound like Emerosa. We wanted to sound like Issues. We wanted to sound like Dance Gavin Dance. Those were all of a sudden our inspirations, which back in the 10th, like from 10 to 15, at 20 to even 18, there was not a lot of bands doing that. Like that melodic, so poppy, so focused on like going out. And basically, if you want to write a good rock song, a heavy song, you listen to pop music and you take what pop music does and do it. And, you know, and we had a tough time, you know, conveying that message at times, because it's so authentic for a larger part of the scene. Yeah. Which now today it's totally normal. This is what everybody does. Like if you listen to, just saw an interview with Thornhill, and he talks about it. Like if you want to make a good metal song, you should just listen to pop music instead of go, you know. Which I agree. I've been doing it for 10 years. So like, you know, it's like that was back then, and we felt, especially in our corner of the world, in Europe, there were really not many of them doing it like that, like the really poppy things. So in Europe, we were kind of left alone. Now there's like loads of bands doing it, which I completely understand because it works. So that was like our outtake. We wanted to do heavy pop music. Yeah. And now it's changed again. Like once we released Home, we dialed back on that. We deliberately, every time I got a melody that's really poppy, that would sound like NSYNC or like something 90s boy band, we would just rip it off and not do it, because we didn't want to go back to that. From that, we had an album called Shameless, very much that era. And every time we did that, we ripped it apart. We wanted to be heavier. We've grown a little bit older, felt more authentic that way.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, because when I was a teenager, I just wanted the heaviest, loudest, craziest band, and if there was clean singing, I'd be like, you know, fuck this band, right? but now I'm in my 40s, and I'm like, no, if a band has a good hook and a good chorus and it connects with you, I'm like, that's what I want, right? Write a chorus that gets stuck in my head, right? Like I appreciate that pop element.
I've gone musically the other direction, actually. I've always freaking, and I'm just like you. I've always been like, there has to be a great chorus. Yeah. And nowadays, maybe because the scene is so saturated, like even like, and I know Boundaries have cleans and have cleans before, but even like Boundaries, like having choruses, and I love this band. I really love what they're doing. I'm like, I just want the heavy. I just want it to be heavier and heavier. I'm devolving, basically. I'm going into my teenage state now. Like Knock Loose is one of my favorite bands, and so it's so changed for me. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to transition to Siamese, which Siamese is the fans are still very keen on the clean singing and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah. Nice. What led the band to Long Branch Records and that relationship?
That was the only contact we had. So
Okay.
basically, I also work as a manager, and I manage the band who's still with us and still thriving. It's called Ghost Iris from Denmark. And Long Branch wanted to sign those guys, and also I still manage a band called Cabal, which I've been doing for now, 12 years. Some people might know them as well. So those two bands, Long Branch, were interested in. And so they were like, yeah, we want to sign these bands. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And this was early days. This was 2016, 15. Like the record industry was way down, and the deals were terrible. But it was a deal. Yeah. So we were negotiating, and after negotiating and having some good campaigns, I was like, this is my band if you're interested. And they hopped on that as well. So it was actually through my work. And it's been like that forever, to be honest. Like, I remember back when I started off, nobody wanted to book my band because we sounded the way we did. So I started my own booking agency. And I just started booking shows all around, and then I just put my own band in it, and that's how we started playing live. And then after playing live a while, then the label came in, and then after the label, as I was managing other bands, I got in touch with different agents, and then I put my band in of agents as well. And it's just been like, I've been doing industry work and doing it professionally and helping out bands, but as soon as I had a chance to kind of say, okay, do you want to listen to this band as well? This is my band, this is where I sing. I've been putting them in front, and it's been working at times, and obviously other times it's just been working really well. Because you can have an agent, you can have a label, and all that, but you don't have the songs, it all doesn't matter. And we began having songs around 2018. That was like, and mind you, I've been doing the band thing 8 years at the time. So it's a bit long.
I'm the static, I'm the signal. When the sky breaks, I'm the past tense they don't.
This new album's called Dissolution. I know that's a track on the record, but what led to that as the title, and what were kind of themes as you were writing lyrics for this album that you were pulling from?
To be honest, I think the first initial inspiration for Dissolution was basically that we were dissolving as a band. Like one member who was also the main songwriter together with me left the band. Mm-hmm. So everything was dissolving. Everything was being dissolved and then built upon new. And everything we did on this record is in a new way. Yeah. We had, with Andreas, we had a multi-platinum, multi-gold certified producer who could layer upon layer and produce so much and, do these crazy things that he could. And then us other 4 guys, we had no clue how to do that. We had to find new ways. So it was just felt like dissolving and building myself upon new was really what it was all about. Also, a lot of the lyrical themes, it was about dissolving who I think I am. So it was a lot about trying to figure out, okay, I thought this was me, but I'm not done evolving. So that felt like a thing as well.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience to try to do it. And what it did for us, because we had to find new ways, we became more of a band. And, we've always been a band, but it's been 2 guys who kind of run the show creatively and economically, but now it's more like of a band thing. We'll see if that works out better. I hope so. I think so.
Yeah. When you break down that concept, I go, okay, the album art kind of makes sense now, but the album art is so crazy. Like, who came up with that concept and idea?
So my old friend Marius Voodoo is a art photographer. I haven't spoken to him in about 10 years. And I was just going through like ideas and what I wanted to do, and I just stumbled upon his name, and I went into his page. It's still active, even though he's not taking as many pictures as he used to. And I found this shoot of him just taking real photos of naked people and just blending it digitally back in 2014, mind you. And it was just so daunting and spooky. Like some of it looks like a fetus, and it's like it just had questions in it. Like, what is this? Why is this happening? And I really like that about the concept. So that was just, I was just drawn to it basically. That it had this element of it, and it was dark, and I think that also spoke to me. I wanted, because the songs on this album are darker than we're used to, so I was like, let's try this out.
Yeah, like from a distance, it's like very abstract, and you're just like, you don't know what it is, but when you look at it, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, there are hands and feet and nipples everywhere. Yeah,
everywhere. Yeah, it's
quite
crazy.
fun. It's quite fun. And I mean, I wanted to also do something, even though the physical product had to have the name in it, like the Siamese name in it. But I wanted it to be something that people could hang up on their wall. Yeah. Be like, this is a piece of art. It looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It is cool that like bands, I think, I don't know, especially post-COVID, like the album artwork seems to be elevated, where even though streaming has taken over, like that physical visual side of it is so important again. Like,
and also like the album format has become very important.
Yeah.
To me, at least, because I feel like I am very ambitious, and I want to do really well in music and in life, but I'm also really, really happy with what I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to give the fans, those who buy the merch, those who buy the vinyl, those who buy the tickets, I wanted to give them something special. And that's why on this album, we didn't release like 7 singles.
Yeah.
That's also very important. I understand why everybody's saying that the album's dead, but sometimes you just gotta go against the stream and just release against the stream, no pun intended. And then release an album like you used to, like, you know, the 3 singles and then the album. And I'm really looking forward to how the reception will be.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many times where I hear a single or 2 singles and I'm like, I don't like this, but I just know, like, let me hear it in the context of the album, and I'm like, oh no, this is great. Like, it doesn't always translate the same. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Album's out June 26th. Yeah.
Correct.
You guys have a fall tour. Are there any plans to try to do anything this summer? Or because of when the album comes out, it's like too late for European festival season to...
Yeah, so basically this summer we're just keeping it low and letting the album work, and do a lot of online stuff digitally, try to build on the record, and then the fall tour with Dayseeker and North Lane, and in 2027 we'll just keep grinding with the headline tours, and hopefully come back to the States, and you know, because I really enjoy being back in America. Like my favorite place to go.
Yeah. You guys just recently, I guess from the last time you were in the States, had your Audio Tree session go live. Like, is that a fun experience to do that? And does it kind of help give more eyeballs to the band, or is it just something fun for you guys?
I mean, it's a great experience. It's a great honor to be among those bands that have done the Audio Tree sessions. I really think it's something special. We had a really great time. The crew and everybody's absolutely delightful. And it learned us a lot of stuff. Like doing the Audio Tree, we could listen to stuff really raw and be like, oh, okay, maybe we should. So like once we did the Audio Tree, both guitarists got new guitars. We use new amps. We've done so many things. We've worked with the backtrack, trying to figure out how we can. So I mean, if you don't do Audio Tree as a band, please do something else similar, so you can listen to yourself really raw live, so you can hear what can even be improved. Even though I do think we're doing really well, it's just it's very nice. You're never too old to learn, right?
Yeah, that's cool. It gives you a different perspective on what the band sounds like. That's rad.
Because my own perspective is mobile phone cameras live, which sound terrible.
Yeah, maybe I'm the sinner. Maybe I'm just bitter. And it's bringing out the worst in us. We will never bring it back because we got it twisted. We are going to wash us down.